Salam alaikum, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Level Every Class, the World of Warcraft War Within series, featuring our Human Warrior Malakyal. Episode 19. And boy, oh boy, y'all can already tell it is a very different change of scenery and change of pace. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to episode 19 of the series. Top right corner of the screen, there's going to be a playlist card tab. You can go ahead and click it in case this is your first episode tuning into this particular leveling saga. It'll take you directly to the playlist. And in the description below, we'll also have a link directly to the playlist for Malakyal. Thank you everybody for tuning in and supporting the series. It's been phenomenal. The journey from Malakyal is coming, leveling wise, is coming to a close here pretty soon. And I figured it's time to do things a little bit different. Let's go ahead and take care of a raid. Now, storyline and plot wise, jumping into pretty much the finale of Cataclysm's storyline may or may not be appropriate, especially given the circumstances that, hey, you're literally jumping into the end of a series in Saga or an expansion. You're literally jumping into the finale of an expansion. But there's two reasons that I did want to do this. One, to kind of get an experience for how a old school raid in the retail, in pretty much retail feels like, or how this raid used to be. And at the same time, as you can tell, we are joined by a good friend of mine, Pyrono. Now, y'all may have recalled, particularly in the Blood Elves leveling series Valeras, I mentioned leveling. One of the reasons I got into World of Warcraft originally was because of a good friend of mine. Very, very good friend of mine. Well, this is him. My good old Irish-American friend that I've known for, shoot, he must have been like 13 and I must have been 7 or 8. Had to have been when we first met. But this is pretty much a brother-in-law for me. So Drew, in case you're watching this, I mean, shout outs to you, man. We've known each other for a long time. This character, Pyrono, is quite literally as old as this game itself. This was the infamous rogue, as I like to call it, the Blood Elf rogue. Very infamous. This character, shoot, Pyrono has so many freaking PvP kills. It's insane. But yeah, we're doing Dragon Soul as a raid to kind of celebrate the leveling journey from Malakyal, and I figured it's kind of appropriate in the sense that you can we can get a taste of what it is to raid. I don't know if I really plan on doing raids, but it's kind of a taste of it. And it's in the Cataclysm timeline. We were leveling in the Cataclysm timeline. Why not? Why not do something a little bit fun and kind of change up the pace? So I guess in a sense, we can kind of say this is kind of a filler episode. On the next episodes, we're definitely going to be jumping back into the leveling. We got some time walking to do, so it's going to be fun. They can maybe do a run back for Zul'Farrak or whatever. Also, just in case if this is your first episode, Let's Level series is all about, the main objective is to get to know every class, get to level every single class in World of Warcraft retail wise, different race every time, or at least most of the time. As much as I can with probably a little bit of overlap. That's kind of crazy that we fall into a parachute. That's, I mean, that doesn't work like that, but okay. But here we are taking care of the Dragon Soul bosses and everything. The very first one that we took care of, not the very first one, but the one that we just took care of, I think it's nicknamed the Kool-Aid Man? Perono had this nickname for the guy, and it was called the Kool-Aid Man. I don't know. I think we rechecked just to make sure we did it for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know why we ran back here. I'm kind of playing follow. We're kind of playing follow the leader here, if you can't already tell. I have no idea what this, like, what's going on outside of Mr. Big Old Dragon over there. So we're heading to the second major boss. I mean, and again, we're pretty much gonna one-shot every. Dang, that dude looks crazy. Something straight out of Starship Troopers or something. I mean, one hit and it's pretty much game over. And another way of celebrating, Pyrono wanted me to obtain the Savior of Azeroth, or yeah, I think that's the title, Savior of Azeroth title, which I think is also pretty cool. I never really paid attention to titles in World of Warcraft. Then again, titles were a thing in Final Fantasy XI for my FF11 players. We had a lot of titles, and unfortunately, you couldn't. Dang, that dragon got beat up. You couldn't, depending on what mob, like if you face like a high notorious monster, or depending on which one you fought, you'd get a title for that. Like let's say you went and hunted Rock, you can get a title for that, but your titles would change depending on, did you complete a specific quest? If you did, then you get the title for that quest. Do you get a specific title for, you know, hunting a specific mob or hunting a notorious monster? No, there was no titles for like dungeons or clearing dungeons or raids like here it is in WoW. Dang, Deathwing is crazy. He's crazy. He's cool looking, don't get me wrong.
I believe, yes.
There's everybody's favorite dragon lady. The thighs on those legs, boy. Alexstrasza, I think her name is, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is everyone's favorite, so there you go. Y'all say hi.
We can finally turn Deathwing.
The legendary Thrall over here.
I sense danger. It is
So yeah, y'all, I gotta say,
at this crucial moment,
coming up on the end of the leveling journey, it's been wild. I mean, there's a lot. I think on the final episode, I'll definitely like do a recollection of what I felt during leveling through Malakyal, what I liked, what I didn't like, what are some things I can improve on, because all of this, the Let's Level series is really all about leveling and really experiencing retail. Dude, this is sick. What are we, in space or something, or some straight out of Golden Sun here? Sick. Take it. I like this. Yo ho ho ho. Tier 2. I saw tier 2 Warlock. I immediately thumbs up for that. But yeah, I definitely want to do like, because really this is all Let's Level is a beginner series as to what to expect. You know, if you're brand new to World of Warcraft, I think, you know, I'm not the best at explaining every mechanic or every little thing, the inner intricacies of WoW. However, like that I'm not good at. However, leveling as a whole, I can do that. I can showcase a journey and what it kind of feels like to level. All right, Mr. Deathwing, that's one challenge down. Do you got any others? He's looking a little upset over there. I don't know, what do y'all think? He's definitely looking a little upset. And I do have a few bonus episodes planned after Malakyal's leveling journey is complete.
Not entirely unexpected. Excellent.
That kind of wraps everything up. Dude, Alexstrasza looks sick, dude. I don't know if we can get her armor or that armor set, but if we can, that's a heck of a transmog. That is pretty.
Heroes, this burden falls to you.
Man, she's tall as heck, too.
You must protect
I
us
feel
from
short.
them,
I'm short in real life.
while we imbue
Don't get me
the
wrong.
dragon's soul with the power.
I'm like 5'3", so I'm a shortstop for sure, but
Speak to me when you are ready to
like,
begin.
what would you, like 8 foot tall at least? Hope everybody's journey in Azeroth, regardless of what version of World of Warcraft y'all are playing, be it retail, Cataclysm Classic, soon to be MOP, Classic Era, Classic Anniversary, Hardcore, whatever, Seasons of Discovery, whichever version of World of Warcraft y'all are playing, I sincerely hope your journeys are going just as well and you're having just as much fun as I am. Who's Deathwing's voice actor?
It was a very painful
I can put my finger on who I think it is, but it sounds really familiar to me. He sounds very, very familiar. I'm gonna look that up after this raid is complete. I'm definitely gonna look it up. Yeah, it's good to be joined by Pyrono. The last time, I guess we gotta hunt these little dudes now. Where's the hatchet? Ah, they don't come down. I mean, he's got a throwing dagger, so we'll be fine regardless, but oh, cool, so they do come down. They do come down. Cool. The last time we played WoW together, for perspective, was, what was it, Pyrono? It was 2007? 2008, give or take. I think I was a junior in high school when I like stopped and then decided I'm gonna go back to FF11. Yo, Deathwing can give good speeches, man. He should honestly be like a spokesperson for something. I don't care what brand. He just needs to be a spokesperson because he just these speeches, man. Very classy. Even though, I mean, he tore the bear. Even though you did tear the Barons apart in half, kind of mad at you about that, good sir. And coming from a Horde player, I mean, I'm kind of mad about that. I'll never let that down. The greatest politicians came from the Barons. Jokingly. But yeah, the last time we played, man, was like 2000. Had to have been like 2007, 2008. Ooh. Are we going into the Void Elves time frame? Or Void Elves area? Track scene. Dang, this is sick. That's funny. That's just the bitter irony of seeing it. I mean, again, we're kind of playing on normal. This is a normal difficulty, but I mean, I can definitely imagine what this raid is at, like, when it first came out, how crazy epic it must have felt. And that brings me to, like, a good point. And my apologies, I don't mean to talk over these characters. But I kind of remember... Oh, we get a cutscene? That was cool. Oh, we're going on an airship? Dude, we got an airship battle? All right. I was not prepared for this. This is Chains of Promathia mission 8-2, I think it was. No, was it 6 or was it in the 6, 7, or 8? It was one of those two. I think it was like 6-2 or maybe 7- something, but it was the airship battle. And for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, Final Fantasy XI, and you would fight on an airship. But this is totally reminding me of the whole Chains of Promathia storyline. And one thing that y'all had in World of Warcraft that we didn't was like good, solid raids. The version of raids that like we had would be the equivalent, would definitely be like Dynamis or storyline fights, depending on which ones, like Archangels or hunting high notorious monsters like Absolute Virtue in C, when if you had C access, or the gods in whatchamacallit, Rise of the Xylart. Oh, this is an airship battle, dude. This is sick. Totally. Now, here's the thing. Chains of Promathia came before this expansion, but I think there's some inspiration being done here. And biggest form of flattery for sure, but look at this, dude. Dude, we're chasing after Deathwing and everything. This is cool. Oh, gotta protect the ship, otherwise we're all going down with it. And I'm not the captain, so I have no legal bindings to that criterion. Some of the mechanics are definitely interesting, like having to stay in the portals, or not in the portals, stay in the direct line of fire so the ship doesn't take the damage, instead we do. And I guess that makes these dragons come a little bit closer. Like with each one we do, like they get pulled, and oh, our turbines are starting to go on fire, so that's not a good sign. Wonder if we're doing this good or if we're doing this bad, or I can't imagine we're sucking at this. I'm sucking at this for sure, but
concentrate everything on the armored drake.
I can't imagine the ship's about to go down just because we're doing this pretty terribly. This really does feel like a homecoming, kind of for me right now. And here I am, tag team with my good bro over here. Lucky to even be alive to kind of fulfill this moment. Screenshot and stuff just so I can have these. You know, memories are good, y'all. I don't know if y'all do this type of stuff, but like gaming memories are just as important as actual memories. We can take, we nowadays have a really bad tendency to not live in the moment. Gosh, look at that. He still has all that old gear. Still level 62. I know he's going to be getting that up to 80 for sure. I think this is the first time he's even touching this character in gosh knows how long. Yeah, I think we have a real bad tendency these days to kind of live in the moment as human beings. I think we take a lot of things for granted nowadays. At least that's just the way I'm thinking, the way I feel. Oop, cutscene. You know, can the Alliance afford better parachutes for their elite units or whatever?
Don't worry about me. Stop the destroyer. And shoot Polina.
Like, if they can afford that airship, they can afford better parachutes. My goodness. Yeah, I think we as human beings nowadays, because and maybe it's because you know, smartphones and everything else, but we don't like, we have a tendency to like not live in the moment, and it's because like for most Americans, and I'm sure a lot of people across the world are just nowadays completely stressed, you know, stressed about life, stressed about everything, expenses, medical related stuff, just everything, and it's killer. I really would like to delve into the mind of politicians. I've been around quite a few, but I really would like to just sit down and have a one-on-one conversation, just to sit here and say, like, can we make living good again? You know what I mean? Like, can we care about human beings a little bit more? Can we care about communities and such more? I don't know. Little things to think about while dealing with all of this corrupted blood and everything that is transforming into tentacles and stuff. A good self-defense mechanism, though. I'll give Deathwing credit here.
Efforts are insignificant. I carry you to your deaths. Are less than dust, fit only to be brushed from my back. I did not realize you fools were still there.
All right. The end of the world. Thrall, you absolute badass. Pride of the Horde right there. A lot of cool transmog loot. I assume that's what y'all do these days, is like you just do the old raids to like do a lot of the old like just get transmog related items, and that's cool. I mean, the fact that it unlocks across your entire warband, I think is pretty cool. So once you get it for one character, you pretty much get it for all across, like, you know, across accounts and stuff. All right, so how does the final part work? How does this work? Does he just like definitely just come out of nowhere and just like,
At last, the destroyer has met his end.
yeah, okay, that's definitely, he's definitely not at the end of the, we're definitely, we're at the tail end, I'm sure. We're not
Succeeded where all
it's not over
Azeroth
yet.
feared you would fail. Before you is the cache of the aspects. Take from
What
whom
a,
you will,
what an arena, dude.
have more than earned the right.
Imagine this, I mean, imagine how epic this must have been back in the day when Cataclysm first came out. Imagine how freaking badass people must have felt even just getting to this point. What was the highest gear score back then? For anybody that played during that time, what was the highest gear score in Cata that you can get? Like, what did you have to be in order to do this raid? Oh, hello. There's our boy.
I will cleanse whatever corruption I can. My
All right, so we got to go from left to right. Not a problem. It would totally suck if you for some reason could miss the jump,
I will bring you closer.
but then you end up falling in the whole title, like the world, and then to the whirlpool. That would stink.
The destroyer, the end of all things.
All right, who gets the final hit? Ah,
We are
good
one
stuff.
step closer. The unknown, transcendent power,
Good
the
stuff.
emerald dream. I now give unto the dragon's soul.
The sea will swallow your
Dude, look at Thrall. What a... Wow. Wow. That's sick.
I can feel the elements awakening, rejoicing. The cataclysm is over.
The champions who fought at our side assured the survival of our world. But now, we must see it with mortal eyes. We dragon aspects have fulfilled our great purpose, and our ancient power is expended. But though our day draws to an end, life endures, and new generations will be born. Today's victory belongs to all who stood against the shadow. You are Azeroth's true guardians, and the future of this world is in your hands. For the dawning of the Age of Mortals has begun.
Want to take a moment to personally thank every single one of y'all for tuning into episode 19. Next episode, we're going to go ahead and jump back into it. Time Walking Dungeons. Let's get Malakyal to 80. Let's enjoy a little bit of the World Within content and kind of go from there. We'll see what we get. Savior of Azeroth title has been unlocked. Bismillah. Very fun. Again, I couldn't imagine what this felt like for everyone back in the day. Kind of sucks that I missed out on it, but ultimately, hey, better late than never. We still get to experience it. Very cool, very fun. I definitely enjoyed this. Nice little change of pace, breath of fresh air, and back to the grind, I suppose. Just in case y'all did enjoy the episode, go ahead and toss me a like. Consider subscribing only if you feel I have earned it. Trying to earn every single little bit of trust in this community that I can get, so to speak. But yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Take care, have a wonderful week, and please, please be safe. Take care, everybody.